Fighting Games Or is turning 100. Shut up, that grammatically makes sense.
Yes.
You.
Fighting
yeah.
games is the big 100.
Yeah, and it's a good time.
Yeah. So, first things first. Garo 2.
Yes, the beta is over, but unless we did play it.
Yes.
Aside from the really long load time between rounds, really fun.
Yeah, you didn't play Terry. Apparently Terry was like the worst character in the beta. Quantifiably.
Okay, good to know.
Like, allegedly, Mai and Terry were like the two worst characters in the beta, and Preacher was the best one.
Yeah, Preacher, I can see that. Having that fireball that was both zoning and...
Okay, yeah.
You know, set play. Yeah, that was really strong.
Yeah, like I played Terry. Actually, the things that people pointed out were the things that I saw people point out online, rather, or the things that I talked about during the beta of like, I just feel like some of these moves have too much startup, and like, yeah, apparently that's exactly what it was, because there was a closed beta previously, and the people who played that too said that they made Terry take longer to do moves.
Yep, Terry, I feel like every time Terry's weak in a fighting game, it's because he has too much startup.
Yeah.
Like, near always, that's his problem. And, like, sometimes I think that's fine, comparative to the rest of the roster. Sometimes it's a bit too much. As always, there's the statement of like, well, who knows, if we had kept our hands on the game longer, we might have came away with a different conclusion. You know, that's always in question for a beta or when a game just comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, it did feel like the rest of the roster had access to faster buttons as a general rule.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing that I took away, because apparently, like, Terry's kit overall was slower, which, sure, if people did the maths, then I wouldn't know. But whatever. The one that I noticed was a problem was Burn Knuckle. Because Burn Knuckle, like, usually how it is a heavy Burn Knuckle travels, like, nearly the entire screen, but has a longer startup, and light Burn Knuckle travels half the screen, does less damage, but is a lot faster. And in this game, light Burn Knuckle had the startup of, like, medium Burn Knuckle from CVS 2. But still did light damage.
Would he still do the taunt before he did the Burn Knuckle? Would he still do the Archville?
No, he just took longer to get his arm out for some reason.
I see. So it kind of looked like old Yang from Street Fighter 3 jumping punch.
Yeah, a bit like that. And so yeah, like it's a thing of like it's funny. I think I said this to Pink when we played it, but it kind of feels like the light Burn Knuckle in Garo 2 was too long, and the light Burn Knuckle in Street Fighter 6 is too short. Because like the one in Street Fighter 6 is a jump scare. Like it's one of those things where like I feel like with rollback, like with better enough rollback, Terry gains a new move that is teleporting with light Burn Knuckle.
Now, in fairness, in rollback, everyone gains the ability to teleport.
I mean, true, but I literally just mean like if you have one spike of rollback when he does light Burn Knuckle, he might as well be fucking teleporting.
Yeah.
Because like light Burn Knuckle, it feels like Street Fighter 6 light Burn Knuckle takes 2 frames to come out, and it felt like Garo 2 light Burn Knuckle took 15. So you know, I feel like there's a midpoint here that would probably be satisfactory around like 7 or 5. But yeah, like I had fun with the game. I liked the characters that I played. Vox Reaper is not for me. Like I played Grant a bit, but you know that's the thing. I played Grant a bit in Garo 1, but I didn't play Grant consistently enough because he felt a bit too stiff. Vox Reaper also feels a bit too stiff, so he's like his master. Apparently he was like stupid fucking broken, Vox Reaper was. But I don't know. I wouldn't know. I guess I don't have the secret Grant tech to be able to use him as such.
I never gave him a whirl. I'll say Kine felt still really strong, not quite Garrow 1 strong, but still really strong.
Yeah. Kine was funny. I had a match against Pink with Kine. And I did the first round without zoning at all, and I did the second round zoning, and it was like day and night.
Yep. He's good at both, too.
Yes. And then I think my was my favorite from the beta.
It's been a good time for my Shiranui lately.
Yes. Like I've been going through this thing recently, probably on set because of Street Fighter, of like just playing random KOFs and just going, man, I fucking love KOF. and
yeah.
And then the games that are it's a crossover of.
Yeah, those aren't necessarily all great, but if they're not great, the characters will be better when KOF puts them in.
Yes, I mean it's also a thing. I just earlier today, because I've been playing a lot of Maximum Impact because we played Maximum Impact, and I'm also just doing playing through the second game, trying to get all of the shit. So when we get around to playing it, we have stuff, and just playing through Maximum Impact and 13, I was like, wow, there's a lot of shit here. I wish I knew how to use it. Like, dude, Maximum Impact has a parry system. Universal.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I found it out today. Like, I found out yesterday when I played 13 that there is a Bodega Kyo in there, hidden. I've owned that game for 3 years at least. And wouldn't you know, the second I play Bodega Kyo, I can actually do a fucking combo with him.
Nice.
It's almost like I know how to play that version of the character, but not actual Shoto Kyo.
Yeah, luckily Shoto Kyo is pretty far back in the past.
Yeah. Oh, no. In 13, he's a default.
All right, 13's so fucking weird, though. 13 doesn't count.
But yeah, like in 13, if you press select, online it says start, but in my experience it has been select. If you press select while hovering over Q, you get Bodega Q. But otherwise he's Shoto Q. Similarly, powerless Iori, but if you press select, you get normal Iori.
Yes, you do.
And then also Mr. Karate is there.
Was 13 not the one where it's more or less just the core KOF characters plus Ash and his dad, and that's it?
Not quite, because Shenwu is also there. And so
yeah.
And like they have some random
Duolon.
Yeah, Duolon, but also on Kim's team. Kim's team is Raiden and some random fucking guy who's not Adon.
Oh god, that's right. Do you suffer from the same thing I do? Where if you ask me what Ash's team is, my answer won't be Ash, Shenwu, and Oswald. Excuse me. There you go, I did it right there. I was going to say, I won't say it's Ash, Shenwu, and Duolon. I'll say Ash, Shenwu, and Oswald. But it's so bad that in my head, Duolon is, even in the example, accidentally replaced with Oswald.
No, see, in my mind, Ash's team is Ash, Billy Kane, and question mark, because I haven't unlocked the last fucking boss character.
Oh, shit.
Like, the boss character is Ash's dad, I think, but...
Yes. Saki? something like that.
Saiki, I think. But yeah, like the unlock stuff for him is so dumb because it's like, all right, so while you play the arcade mode, I'm just gonna give you random shit to do during the match. Also, you need to do 10 every round and also get an S rank on the match. And it's like
Oh Jesus! What version of 13 is this?
global match or whatever the fuck, like not the one with rollback, the one before that.
Okay, I was about to say, what fucking version of 13 sets unlockables for the characters?
Yeah, it's the OG Steam release of 13, more or less. It has the DLC for the PS3 version, but yeah, like I had to unlock Billy Kane and Saiki. I will have to unlock.
That Billy Kane is the second to last unlockable?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. He's a secret boss character.
I guess in that capacity, but like otherwise I would have said like no, I don't know who I'd make second to last unlockable. Like if they're True Iori, I guess.
I mean, that's the thing though, like there are like the unlockables, there's only 2 unlockables. It's Billy Kane and Saiki.
Oh. And they're both brutal, of course.
Billy Kane is not that bad. You need to do 5 missions and then get an S rank on the first 3 rounds or whatever, 3 matches, which I can get somewhat consistently. The problem is Saiki, because he requires you to do 10 missions during a fight, and the missions go from like, you know, all right, do 3 jumps to hit your character with a DOA thrashing move, and like the time when this pops up is by the time that the enemy has 1 hit of health left. And this is like the 7th mission.
Yep.
Yeah. AF 13.
Well, what if they just tied it to the combo trials?
I haven't found those. I wanted to, and I just couldn't. So I gave up. Then let's see. Okay, yeah, okay. No, I don't own Global Measure because that's the rollback release. But yeah, that also came out for KOF 13.
Sounds right.
Let's see what else. There's gonna be a second Garo 2 beta.
That makes sense. Have they said whether it'll have different characters? Because I know you and I are both sitting there like, okay, look, there's no losers on the Garo cast, at least not without the little shitter gone.
There's no losers on the there's no losers on the Garo cast aside from Kevin Ryan, but he's not here.
Yeah, I'm fine with Kevin Ryan, but I don't blame you for hating him. But like, at the end of the day, you and I both love Terry. I love Rock. I love Kine. I love B. Jenny. But I know that you're sitting there like, okay, give me Don Juan. And I'm sitting here like, okay, give me Marco and T-Zoc.
Yeah.
I'm not any fucking good with Marco. My best success records in like Marco. It's a bit of the. Sometimes this happens in fighting games where your favorite character is not the character you're best with, right?
Yeah.
My favorite characters in Garo are T-Zoc and Butt, or Marco rather. I got to get used to him being called Marco now.
Okay, he's
if I call him Butt, I'll look like an idiot. But the characters I do best with in Garo are not T-Zoc or Marco. It's B, Jenny, and Kine every time.
You switch over to calling him Marco. I will start calling him Kushwood. Or Kushnud. I don't remember which one it was.
Cushy nudity.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But yeah, usually I don't have the problem of the character I like the most being not being the character that I am the best at, because I just brute force shit for the most part. I like it's fucking I don't know, 20 some years of Akuma have made it so I'm a platinum 3 Akuma, and and all it took was playing no one fucking else.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the only game that I can think of where that's a problem for me is Guilty, or not Guilty Gear, fucking hell, Blaze Blue. Where's Guilty Gear? But yeah, Blaze Blue, because like I love Susanoo, I love Jubei. I suck as both of them. I love Kokonoe. She is an easy button. Like she's barely a character because she has so much shit that's just unanimatic or whatever. Like she has so many moves where you just press a button and then she just does a 50 hit combo and it does 75%. Where like, you know, am I playing a character for real? You know. And so yeah, like the character that I'm best with in BlazBlue is Platinum the Trinity. I hate Platinum the Trinity. So
yeah, we both have that with BlazBlue, don't we?
Probably, yeah.
Where the characters we're good with and the characters we like are two different pools. My Tager is monstrous. I hate playing Tager.
I recently saw a post saying that Tager is one of the weakest grapplers in fighting games. And I laughed.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. I want to say the initial launch version of BlazBlue, Tager was pretty strong, but every iteration of BlazBlue since, Tager's actually been shit, tier-wise. I mean, at the end of the day, these games have Carl Clover. Carl Clover is like Dhalsim in MVC2. Yeah. Hypothetically, he's always the best character. It's really just a matter of your execution. And no one's execution is good enough for the hypothetical perfect. It's, what was it? Hypothetical Dhalsim. So here's hypothetical Carl Clover. Though unlike Dhalsim, I think Carl Clover is also just really good, even if you're not amazing with him, if you're just good with him.
Yeah. I also heard a similar thing with Chip recently, that the XX chip, like the only thing that's really balancing XX chip is the player. There's a hypothetical XX chip player out there somewhere who just has all of the execution, and that makes XX chip the most broken character in the game. But since this hypothetical person cannot exist, it means that XX chip is balanced.
Yeah. It's really saying something, because XX is the notorious Zappa wins everything game.
Yeah.
And like, I like Zappa, but I see a lot of people go like, when's Zappa gonna be added to Strive? And every time I see that, it's like the moment that Arxis can figure out a way to nerf the fuck out of his kit without making him entirely not Zappa.
The day Zappa gets added to Strive is also the day that Arxis announces that Strive is discontinuing support.
Maybe that might be the grenade they throw in the fucking room.
Like okay, imagine they fucking change nothing about Zappa. He's the last character of the game. There's no support, not even like balance patches. No, fuck you. We're moving on to the next project.
It legitimately has to be, if you ever pick any character other than Zappa, you have to rush Zappa down as hard as possible and not even vaguely let him get any of his shit started. Because otherwise you're just fucked.
Yeah. But like I feel like with that, like it's one of those things where, like, if they were to do that, I feel like they would need to license out Justin Wong as a voice actor. So whenever, like, instead of Zappa talking, it's just Justin Wong echoing from somewhere, "You're about to learn."
Oh shit.
Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising did a collab with Pop Team Epic.
Yeah, I heard about that. I did hear that it was really funny.
Yes,
which makes sense. It's Pop Team Epic.
Sadly, it was only an Avatar set. They should have added Popuko and Pipimi as playable characters. Maybe then there would be a reason to buy the game.
Boy, if you thought that some of the guest characters in Mortal Kombat didn't fit.
Yeah, I mean, although, like, okay, imagine this, like, Popuko and Pipimi, with the way they are in Pop Team Epic. Like, it would just be ice climbers, but they're also both Neko Arc. Imagine the fucking chaos. That would be the screen.
Oh.
So yeah, let's see. Also in Grand Blue Rising Versus, they added an option to remove charge inputs. You can now rebind charge inputs to be any motion you want.
With a cooldown?
Probably, yeah. I don't know. They didn't talk about that.
Because it's been said before, you can't do quarter circle guile.
They're gonna try.
I mean, for Pink, that is great. And, like, if there is something to balance it out, whether it just nerfs the move outright or if it adds a cooldown to it, I think that's fine.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things where, like, I feel like charge characters have a reason to exist. But I can also recognize that that's increasingly unpopular opinion, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think you and I are both of the opinion that, to a certain degree, like, character inputs are part of their identity.
Yeah.
At the same time, that's not what Grand Blue's about. Grand Blue has always been the easy input optional game. It's part of that game's identity. If a Grand Blue game came out without easy inputs, I'd go, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a thing of like, you know, like, I can, like, despite being a rushdown like motion character, like, I play Shotos, you know, despite that, I can't imagine King Cup 1 without it having the flash kick. And, like, if the flash kick was on Shoryuken, King Cup 1 would change his game plan majorly.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't think I wanted to see a world where King Cup 1 has a Shoryuken input flash kick, because that means that he now has bigger combo. King Cup 1 already has big combo. So, like...
Yeah.
Like... Okay, we make motion input King Cup 1, but he's Shin Kim.
Alright, here's what I'm gonna ask.
Yeah?
How would you feel about Kim Kafwan with the flash kick on down kick input?
I'd hate that. I hate down inputs. It's nothing like it's nothing personal. There's no like particular reason that I don't like down inputs. Actually, they can't use down because Kim already has a move on down.
Oh, that's right. He's got the stomp.
Yeah. It would have to be a Shoryu. But yeah, I don't like down inputs because they're unintuitive. I never think of their existence. It just means that I don't do entires. Really. At least when entires are on down. Like, genuinely at that point, if you put it on down up, I'm more likely to use it. Because that makes more sense to me.
I definitely get that.
At least when it's an entire. Like, the stomp being on down makes sense to me. I still don't use the move because I don't like it. And I forget it exists most of the time. But, you know, when I do remember, down makes sense for why that would be a big stomp on the ground. Whereas down for a fucking jumping uppercut doesn't really make sense to me.
So, I think you and I are in the same space where down fucks us up because we mentally associate it with a different kind of move. You associate it with a stomp. You know what move it fucks me up that I associate down with?
Yeah?
The NRS games have made me, for too long, they've made me think that down is the input for your set play moves. What? Because let me ask you, what's the input for Joker Teeth?
I don't know. I never played Joker.
Fair enough. Most people shouldn't. Down heavy. Yeah, I've pressed that button a few times in my time.
So yeah, like this moving away from motion inputs and shit, like it's one of those things. But like it can be unleashed, but I kind of wish that we would get just a counter thing of like, all right, we like basically what I want is kind of like Buriki 1 but with motion inputs. So like, because like Buriki 1 it still has motion inputs, but you use the sticks to input them, and I don't want that because that would be too weird. No, what you want, what we need to do is you need like I want a regular Hadoken to be a health circle. I want a Shinku Hadoken to be a fucking pentagram. Do the Shin Shoryuken with the motherfucking pretzel. Go fuck yourself.
Like dude, the other day I was popping open Mugen to test out a few of the characters I downloaded. I've only tested out a very few. Most of them are going to have to be tested out live in the field by Yumi or Pank. And fair warning, at the very least, I know that the queue I downloaded for the Street Fighter section is a little bit fucked up, and not in the like janky broken way, but in the, oh no, he has access to all 3 supers at the same time kind of way.
Oh, nice.
Right? Which is a game changer for all the Third Strike characters.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I popped in Geese from 98, and I was like, okay, yep, okay, this is 98 Geese, all right. Oh man, I forgot 98 Geese didn't have the air fireball. God, 98 was so weird for so many characters. And I was like, hold on. I started inputting the pretzel. 5th try, baby. 5th try.
Nice.
Yeah. And hey, there's CVS2 Geese also in there. I made sure to get the CVS2 versions of all the SNK characters. So that for all intents and purposes, there's not to be too mean to SNK. That's kind of the real Geese in my head is CVS2 Geese.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
King
thing.
is like the only SNK character that I don't consider her Capcom version to be the real one.
Yeah.
Because Capcom King kind of stinks.
But like it. So you know what I'm saying with the inputs. Like I want one game to sacrifice themselves. just so we get a weirdo fighting game with like specialized inputs again, because we're moving away from that, and like I can get that, but also I feel like we're losing a bit of control with the characters because of this.
Yeah, I think I think Street Fighter 6 generally has the right territory of like just pick one. There's definitely finer tuned elements to the balance of modern versus classic, and Street Fighter itself is still having trouble figuring that out. But at the end of the day, I think that there are some people who are fundamentally just going to go in with the attitude of, I want to control like Smash.
Yeah.
And it's a rather sizable group of people, because there are a lot of people who play Smash Brothers.
I mean,
and want to play other fighting games, but get frustrated by the existence of motion inputs.
I mean, honestly, like, I think my thing, like, my problem like that we've talked about, and I've seen more people come to the same conclusion, is that, maybe you can remove the damage reduction that they have, but just make it so the instead of, just being instant input buttons, it's just macros. So instead of you doing the motion input, you press the button and it does the motion input for you, but it's still doing the motion input, so it still takes time.
Yeah.
Like, that to me, that seems like the best way to balance that shit, because it doesn't give you a godly reaction
just
times.
Add a few frames of startup.
Yes, that's it. Like, genuinely, most of my problems with modern, I think, would be fixed by just giving them more startup. And I don't mean that in the way of like, in the way that Terry got more startup in the Garo 2 beta. I mean that just like, once again, literally just take like an average time for a person to input the move, and then just do it like that. Because, like, people say that, like, oh, well, professional players can input a Shoryuken in fucking 2 frames. Okay. And the professional player... Well, that, for one, yes, but also, like, even hypothetically, if they could, they also drop inputs because they're human. And the macro, or not the macro, and an instant button does not drop an input because it's an instant button that skips the input. So, like...
here's another thing. The Shoryu input is effectively requires 3 motions out of the player. The left thumb has to go to the right, down, right, and then the right thumb has to find the appropriate punch button.
Yeah.
The Hado, I think people can do on reflex as a knee jerk. The Shoryu, I don't see that being such a thing that even many pros would bother to train themselves to do. At the end of the day, there is a reason that pros tend to use normals as anti-airs. And it's not just for the ease of input, but also down to the fact that you can do that reflexively a lot easier than a Shoryu compared to a Hado or a Tatsu or what have you.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, once again, like, I think most of my qualms with modern input would just be fixed with, you know, once again, taking the average time it takes to input the move and then just making it be like that so that, you know, newer players who want to play Classic aren't fucking going up against people who play, I don't know, like 15 ranks above where they should be, basically, because of their lack of input times. And, you know, otherwise, like, because the big thing with modern, like playing against or with modern or whatever the fuck you want to call it, is game feel. And like, I can tell you, half of the reason that I have a tendency to go on rants about modern is mainly because I feel like playing against modern in its current state is just not fun. Like, the only caveat to that is literally Pink, because for one, I know Pink can beat me with classic controls too. And for two, Pink doesn't play like most modern players. Like, with Pink, it actually feels like I'm fighting a person instead of a flowchart. And, you know... But yeah, like, you know, once again, it's one of those things where, like, I think they could even, like, give this a trial. Like, obviously, I don't know what's going on in the code for SF6, but, you know, it seems like they could at least do something similar and give it a trial run to see if that fixes most of the people's qualms with modern. Because, like, you know, people say, like, you know, it's a thing of, like, then they would have to remove the damage cap, but, like, there's already no damage cap if the person is inputting the classic inputs, which they can. So that's moot. And also, they could just remove the damage cap, yes, because at that point, like, the damage cap is there to accommodate for the lack of, you know, time it takes to input the move. But if you had the time to input the move, then it's fine. Not only that, but, like, from my experience, it honestly just, the damage cap feels non-existent. Non-existent even. Like, it, you know, I have never fought a modern player and went, man, it's really good that they deal 80% damage instead of 100, because otherwise I wouldn't have won.
Oh boy.
Anyway, Punch Planet is adding an arcade mode.
Yes, I saw that. I will say Punch Planet, as cool as it is, has been very distinctly lacking content, so that's cool they're getting around to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's sweet. And hey, it's on the wheel, so maybe we'll play it at some point. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a mystery. Much like Evolution.
Then, the T1000.
Yes, but there's bigger news for Mortal Kombat. Because see, the T1000...
We'll hit that, but we need to talk about how lame the T1000 is.
To be honest, I don't really remember a lot of his moves other than the one where he turns to goop and slides along the floor, that glacier shit.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, okay, that's something, I guess. But all of his other moves are just like, all right, I make my arm into a spike and I hit you. Make it into a crowbar and I hit you. And it's just very unimaginative.
It's, well, you know, Crows do. It's accurate to the movie, which the movie, of course, that was very advanced for the CG in 1992 or 3. But by modern standards, it is one of the less crazy things you can do with a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen the full moveset. I will give them credit. I thought Conan looked horrible in the initial teaser they showed of him, because they showed off all his action figure normals. But when they showed the full clip, well, his normals looked a lot less robotic. I still thought his moveset looked fairly boring. I hear from people, though, that have actually played him that, like, actually he's a pretty fun character. I can believe that. He's probably the designated grappler of the game, as apparently that's just Arnie's job now for Mortal Kombat, but nonetheless. Either way, God help us when they had Commando. Command grab, he throws you off the stage, you fall all the way back down. Sub-Zero, do you remember when I said that I would kill you last? Putting that aside. Yeah, the T-1000, I think the goop move looks cool. Otherwise, yeah, he looks about what I expected for normals, which is big, stretchy Dalsim normals with a spike arm and the crowbar arm. Nothing too shocking. I'm curious more so to see what they come out with for the rest of his normals, because they usually don't show the exciting parts of the character's moveset in the initial teaser. Ghostface was not swapping between characters, playing fucking mid-game MKX variation swapping in the teaser. So for him, they fucking hid the exciting part of the character. So I am curious to see what else they've got there. The fatality choice is great. I figured we were just going to get at least just 2 different fatalities where he goops and, kills people with the goop, or shapeshifts and kills people with spike arms. No, I'm really glad they went with, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just put him in the fucking semi and he runs you the fuck over.
Yeah, I like that part, but I didn't like when he shifted out and started shooting you. Although, like, it's been a while since I saw Terminator 2, so maybe that's actually what he does.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do that to John Connor. That would have been a little bit of an early conclusion. Oh, shit.
Like,
it's a little bit over the top.
No, that's the thing. Like, it's like running you over with a semi would have been enough. It would have been just right. Of like it's there, but it's not too much. But it's like somehow him coming out and shooting you with an SMG makes it less.
It does. I do agree with that. I felt that way watching it. I was like, oh, I get they're trying to be silly here, because that's stupid. But it really does just take away from the impact of it.
Well, anyway, before we hit the other news for Mortal Kombat,
yeah,
the Olympic Council of Asia has approved 11 esports titles for the games in Nagoya. This includes
Dota, Counter-Strike, and Valorant.
Yes, but also one of the things. But yes, there's all of those. There's also like
really StarCraft.
Wait, let me check again.
Son of a bitch, the Olympics care more about StarCraft than Blizzard does.
No, wait, no StarCraft.
Oh!
No StarCraft, but there is eFootball and Puyo Puyo, which I mean Puyo Puyo, fair enough. But
oh, is there Age of Empires 2?
No, the games that aren't
no RTS representation. Shit.
The games that are here are Pokemon Unite, Honor of Kings, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, Identity 5 Asian Games version, Naraka Blade Point, Gran Turismo 7, eFootball, and Puyo Puyo Champions. But if you have any notes about these, then we can hit them, and I can hit the button.
I don't have anything else to say about any of those, except League of Legends, we're getting spicy in there.
Yeah.
At the same time, correct me if I'm wrong, League of Legends is more popular in East Asia than Dota, right?
I don't know.
I do not know either which way. I'm not sure which of those two is more dominant in the market. It seems like they've been more or less just both continually relevant since, the beginning of time in League of Legends' case, but for, 10 or 13 years in Dota's case.
But before all of these, they announced competitive martial arts in a team competition for 1 medal, and this includes 3 games? ? These are listed as the Street Fighter series, Tekken series, and King of Fighters series.
Oh shit! King of Fighters in the Olympics, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's weird they just listed the whole series. It's not. Boy, could you imagine a fucking triathlon of the King of Fighters or Street Fighter? All right, first you gotta win in Street Fighter 3, then 4, then 6, bud. You better practice that diversity, pal.
No, see, like I imagine it's every game.
Oh, Ooh, do we want Street Fighter 1 on the biggest stage of them all?
I mean, it would be really funny.
For like 2 seconds, and it'd be really boring.
Yeah.
What's fucking great is for Mugen, I downloaded, somebody went through and put all the Street Fighter 1 characters in. But the greatest joke of all was played. They made them actually playable and feel good.
Ah.
Simultaneously, also on one hand, I get it. On the other hand, that kind of feels like it's not Street Fighter 1 anymore if they actually feel good.
Yeah, there's a version of Street Fighter 1 on Fightcade that was hacked to actually feel good. But yeah. But yeah, like imagine if it's a team competition. So imagine it's like, all right, so you have like, I don't know, teams of 15 people, and it's like, all right, we have a guy. He plays out of Tekken 2. and he's gonna be going for trying to get the gold medal for us in Tekken 2. And then it's just like offset in each game. So like everyone sends out a guy, and they do a round robin, I guess. It depends on how many teams there are, but they do a round robin. It's just one set in each game, and whoever has the most wins by the end, it takes the point for that game, and then we just add it to the tally. And whoever has the most points by the end of all of the fighting games gets the one medal that this is for.
Oh man, okay. I feel like the strange thing here is the idea of there being a gold medalist in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And like there being not just that in itself is already bizarre to think about. Consider the fact that, if they do this, for this Olympics and maybe the next one, though it might just be, Japan, because Japan is going to have more respect for it than most countries. Like, my God, if they hit this in Europe, like, a lot of Europe's going to be like, so, hey, what's a Street Fighter? Putting that aside, though.
No, Street Fighter's pretty big over here.
Oh, I thought Soul Calibur and KOF were king in Europe.
They have more of a foothold, like it's more balanced. But Street Fighter is Street Fighter everywhere,
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's the weird thing to think about though is the idea that there could be a gold medalist in Street Fighter, and neither Daigo nor Justin Wong having ever won it.
See, what I was about to say is like you know how in the medals they usually do something that relating to what's happening. So like in the winter games, that Uller is stamped on the medals for some reason because he's the god of extreme winter sports, I guess.
Yeah.
But like imagine they give out the fighting games gold medal and stamped on it is fucking Evil Moment 37. Like, I feel like you could hear live on air Justin Wong yelling at that point. Like, wherever he is, he would just let out a screech loud enough to be heard wherever. like just the earth would shake and you would hear, God damn it! But yeah, but then also another thing is like, I feel like if this is a proper Olympics thing and all that, like I don't know the likeliness of them actually taking it, but it would be funny if the teams have Justin Wong and Daigo in them. It would only make sense.
Like they end up with a bunch of young kids at their sides.
Yeah.
Like, it's Justin Wong, and he's teaming up with a baby.
And
the baby's got them Japanese own setups down.
Justin Wong teams up with his child.
Justin Wong turned to his little daughter and said, "You're gonna learn today, kid." And his daughter just looks up and goes, "Okay." Gives a thumbs up.
He trained her how to do the Daigo parry. If
The forbidden combination. She has absorbed the powers of both Justin and Daigo. The
Yeah.
rest of the field in fighting games is now moot.
Oh
man, you know
the finals is Justin's daughter against Max's.
Oh God. Oh man, Matt's sitting there in the audience like, I'm torn. Shit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You know who's not getting invited to the Nagoya Olympics?
Yeah.
In the Street Fighter? Infiltration.
Yeah. Shit. Tekken 8.
Oh boy.
Tekken 8 has sold 3 million copies.
Yeah. How many did Tekken 7 sell by the end?
Currently, they actually posted a thing like the image that the slide that they says that this one they actually compared it to Tekken 7. So apparently it reached this faster than Tekken 7, which currently has sold 12 million copies.
Yeah, it does not surprise me that it has sold that number faster. Tekken 7 was not the red hot success immediately. It took a little bit. Tekken 7, like somewhere between shortly after launch and before Leroy, was the peak Tekken 7 period. Tekken 8 though comes in already fairly hot off of Tekken 7, but I don't think that Tekken 8 will see 12 million. That's just my armchair estimate as someone who has no history in the business whatsoever. But it does seem to me like there is just generally less enthusiasm for Tekken 8 than there was for Tekken 7, and a considerable number of those 12 million sales are going to be casuals who are not going to see much of a reason to move from Tekken 7 onto the sequel.
Yeah, not to mention that like it's been a thing with it was a thing with Tekken 7 as well, but somehow between Tekken 7's boom and now Tekken has developed a fairly toxic community, and so that will also keep people out.
Yeah, out of the online side certainly, and out of the social media side. As Pat, angriest Pat or super best friends Pat, whatever the hell you want to call him, once said the worst thing about Star Wars is the fan base.
Yeah.
It was Pat Stairs that once said the worst thing about Star Wars is the fan base, and it's been said by others that applies to all fan bases, Pat.
Yeah. But they also announced Anno.
Oh yeah, they did. I like Anna quite a bit. Anna, I always called her Anna. I feel like I remember the Tekken Tag 2 announcer called her Anna. And I always just end up pronouncing names however the Tekken Tag 2 announcer called them. But yeah, Anna's here. She's packing a rocket launcher again because fuck it, Tekken's just a clown shoes shit now, I guess.
Yes. And I have to say I do like her new design better than I liked her sister's. It makes more sense.
Oh, help me. I've somehow forgotten her sister's name.
Nina.
Okay, yeah. Nina has the dress that's all cleavaged up, right?
Yeah, Nina has a dress that's all cleavaged up with a jacket for some reason, and also sunglasses, I guess.
Yeah, the last couple of games, it seems like Nina's been the character that's all, oh, look at my tits.
She's always been that. Well, no, Anna has always been that. Anna has always been that. Nina has been the closest she can get without infringing on Anna's IP, and now she is.
Like Nina, for the Nina in my head is still jumpsuit Nina. It will always be jumpsuit Nina. They put in biker Nina, they put in wedding, they put in bridal gown Nina, they put in this current suit Nina. Nina in my head will forever be jumpsuit Nina. Zero suit Nina.
Yeah.
Anna to me is the one that's supposed to be sexy out of the duo. Maybe it's just, I know by now Anna's thing is she shows up with a rocket launcher and shoots a fucking rocket or whatever. I do a bit. In my head, it's still Tekken 5, Tekken Tag 2. Anna's fucking what she does is jiggle her tits in front of the camera deliberately.
Yeah.
Like it's not DOA where it's subtle. No, Ada is explicitly chest out, shaking them for the camera for whatever fucking reason. I don't know, but she does.
It feels like it.
So when they switch it to Nina being the sexualized one, it's like I don't get it. Is it just because Nina's now the evil one and Anna's the good one, and whichever was the evil one is supposed to be the sexy one?
See,
I would social implications.
See, I would argue that Anna, or not Anna, fucking hell, Nina was already sexualized. It just like the bodysuit was already there. It just wasn't this explicit about it, and they are just getting more explicit about it.
Yeah, but there's a difference between Zero Suit and Look at My Tits, right? Because Zero Suit Samus isn't trying to be sexy; she just is. It's
I don't know. I
stuff,
feel
right?
like I feel like she also had like dumbass big cleavage in the jumpsuit.
Okay, when we talk jumpsuit, do we mean the jumpsuit she was wearing all the way up until Tekken like fucking 6 and Tag 2?
Yeah, I'm talking Tekken 5.
The biker jumpsuit with a big cleavage?
I'm talking Tekken 5, but it's been a while since I looked at it, so I'm gonna take a look again. Okay, no, she didn't have...
Tekken 5 Nina should have the same costume that... Go ahead.
Okay, so, what the fuck is this outfit? Oh, that's by degrees, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, no, she didn't have the cleavage, but she did have the Sanya blade, like, molded booba.
Well, yeah, that, like I said, Zero Suit Samus. Samus isn't trying to be sexy in lore, even if the character does wind up looking sexy and the designers intended her.
Oh, this is why I remember it. Alright, I mixed, I combined in my head her Player 1 and Player 2 outfits from Tekken 5.
That would explain it.
Just give me a sec.
Because she's always had alternate costumes that are sexed up.
Yeah, there you go. There those are.
Yep, that makes sense. My God, she looks like she's going out clubbing in the 70s.
Yeah. And so, yeah,
she looks like one of Black Dynamite's hoes.
She might be, I guess. But yeah, so like...
I'm imagining Black Dynamite shouting up the staircase at her.
But yeah, like...
She runs away crying. Man, Tiger's different.
But yeah, so like to me, the way that she's sexualized is not new because I'm used to Player 2 Nina as well. So it's just like, you know, they're just making it more obvious because jumpsuit Nina is gone.
Yeah, I mean, with old Bamco games, with the older Bamco fighting games, you're going to get used to Player 2 costumes fairly often. I think I've said this before. I've never had a problem with Ivy being sexualized because Ivy is Ivy. It's pretty well her gimmick alongside the dominatrix thing. But the best costume Ivy ever had was her least sexualized costume. Her Player 2 costume is Soul Calibur 2, the Navy Admiral costume.
Yeah.
I will say, and I think everyone can agree with this, the nipple strap in Soul Calibur 4, pushing it a little bit too far, just a bit. Christ, Soul Calibur 4 was a fucking train wreck.
I have devised a way that we could play it, but it would take time and storage. And
you know what? Let's play the good ones at least a good few times before we move on to the death of the series.
yeah. Oh no, I'm just saying that I do have means to play stuff like that, but also storage.
Soul Calibur 4 was the death of the series. Soul Calibur 5 and 6 were just gas escaping the corpse.
No, Soul Calibur 5, like as much as I love it and it, you know, it has that zero and shit, Soul Calibur 5 was the corpse shitting itself.
I think you and I are in the same space where we recognize objectively that Soul Calibur 5 is an insult to the rest of the series. But you and I are also both in the group that recognize Soul Calibur 4 as the time the series went bad. So 5 feels like less of a slap in the face to us. We're just kind of like, yeah, this is here.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but also
story-wise, this is mostly dumb, but it does play really good. So
that and also like I am one of the few people who actually likes some of the new characters that they introduced in 5, because like I liked Zwei.
I like Zwei.
Yeah, and Viola was alright.
I like Viola as well. Ezio's great.
Yeah. That's it.
I'm not gonna lie. As shittily written as he was as a character, I do like the actual Soul Calibur wielding Patroclus, where he's using fucking Iaido.
Yeah, although I felt like I felt like Yaido Patroclus was kind of infringing on oh, what's her name? Shit,
Setsuka.
Setsuka. Yeah, Setsuka's gimmick.
Yeah, Setsuka's way cooler than Patroclus. That is worth mentioning. I just think it is kind of cool. Soul Calibur 5's in that weird space where I can see where these characters could have been way cooler, right?
Yeah.
Because Pyrrha was Soul Edge. Could you imagine how badass if they had actually went for it and went, yeah, you're this innocent little waifu girl? No, actually, she picks up Soul Edge and she just starts murdering loads of people and devouring loads of souls.
You mean Tira?
No, did I say Pyrrha?
No, you did say Pyrrha, but I mean that's the gimmick. That's the character for Tira.
Yeah, but Tira's a Harley Quinn to begin with. It's not a shock that she's a psychopath if she picks up Soul Edge. I mean, like, Pyrrha is, like, supposed to be Little Miss Sad waifu. And I was really hoping when she picked up Soul Edge, that would change and she'd be fully Nightmare, I need more souls, and not just, still sad, crying waifu. But now she's got a super sword.
Yeah. Although, one thing that I do remember also liking, in 5 was, I think that was the return of Dampierre.
Oh, right. Yeah, 5 was so... Right, and Dampierre was DLC, so I didn't have access to him.
Oh, neither did I. He was...
5 also has Devolution, by the way.
I know.
Fucking Devolution. Like, Devolution's my preferred version of Jin, but nonetheless, if I were to ever pick up Devolution in Soul Cal 5, I wouldn't know what to do with him, because it's like, okay, what's supposed to be vertical slash and what's supposed to be horizontal slash with this character?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Back to Tekken, I guess. Since Devolution, they have announced that one of the characters in the season pass is a new one, as in like completely a new character to Tekken, not guest character.
Yep, like Fakum Ram and Leroy.
Yeah,
and Lydia. How was Lydia, by the way? Well, I must have tried her at some point because I picked up Tekken 7 with all the DLC, but I never really got around to trying her, come think of it. Or Fakum Ram. I really just kind of played the shit out of Negan when I played Tekken 7 again last year.
See, you can't ask me about the DLC characters because, like, I owned one DLC character, which was Eliza, and I also didn't own her because even though I fucking pre-ordered the game, I didn't get the code.
Okay.
So, like...
that's in keeping with the patterns we've had with Tekken 7.
So like, literally, the only DLC character that I actually paid money for, I didn't even get. Anyway. Virtual Fighter did a 30th anniversary character popularity poll even.
Really?
Yes. Let me read that.
I have no real investment in that series, but I would nonetheless vote just to interfere on the behalf of Wolf, Hawkfield, and Vanessa. So, hey!
Alright, so, here is... They're not numbered. Great. That's 3. Alright, here's the top 10. I have it marked. So, the most popular characters are Akira Yuki at number 1.
At number 10?
Number 1.
Oh, at number 1. Okay, I was about to say that doesn't sound like Japan.
I'm counting down.
Japanese popularity polls always put the main character at number 1.
Second is Sarah Bryant.
Okay.
Third is Pai-chan.
Okay.
Fourth is Jackie.
Okay.
Fifth is Kagemaru.
Yep.
Sixth is Aoi, who is waifu. I don't remember her.
I have no idea who that is.
Seventh is Vanessa.
That's a surprise.
Eighth is Wolf Hawkfield.
Okay.
Ninth is Go.
That's also a bit of a surprise.
And 10th is Lion.
Okay. That is a little bit of a surprise near the end. Every Japanese character popularity poll I've ever seen will always just be a listing of the core cast of any game or any anime. Yeah. If you ever see a popularity poll put out for Dragon Ball, number 1, Goku, number 2, Vegeta, number 3, Gohan, number 4, Piccolo. And it's just a listing of the Z fighters plus Frieza, Cell, and Boo. without fail every time.
I mean, if you wanna hear the real fucking surprising shit, listen to the next three. So number 11, Chundi.
Okay, we're getting into Virtua Fighter names that I'm not going to know.
Fucking hell, old guy, but who is he like?
Aren't there only 15 Virtua Fighter characters?
There's a bit more. There's like 20. But yeah, Shun is like fucking Jinpachi's friend. Backdoor Sans Master, I think.
Oh god.
You know the guy.
One of the Tekken characters I forget exists. Yeah. Oh god. Wang?
Yeah, Wang Jinrei. Yeah, Shundi is like him. If memory serves. Then 12th is Jeffrey McWild.
Yeah, Jeffrey's not got a lot going on.
And 13th is Lau Ka Long.
Who's that?
Another old dude. He does kung fu.
Is he the evil old dude?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I usually find evil old dude cooler than good old dude in a lot of fighting games.
But yeah, like this is surprising to me because under these guys is like 4 waifus and El Fuerte.
Yeah.
And the least popular character in Virtua Fighter is Taka Arashi, who is not E Honda.
Yep. There is no fighting game series where the sumo wrestler is the most popular character. Honda's the best of the fighting game sumo wrestlers, and he's still the one guy out of the Street Fighter 2 classics that everybody's kind of comfortable forgetting.
I don't know. Well, I guess, yeah, if you're talking about like OGs for Street Fighter 2, then yeah.
Yeah, obviously, if we're including Super, that's a different question, because everybody's more than fine to leave T-Hawk out.
Yeah, T-Hawk and Fei Long.
I like T-Hawk. Fei Long, I feel like we're going to get Fei Long in Street Fighter 6 before long. He skipped 5, and unlike T-Hawk, I don't think Capcom considers him a lost cause. I think with Fei Long, part of it comes down to, were you actually there for Super Street Fighter 2? If you were, then you probably think Fei Long is pretty cool. If you came along after, like we did, then you know that Fei Long has no story impact. And comparative to many characters that came along later, whatever you want Fei Long to do, odds are the twins do better.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is that technically I came along before Fei Long, because the version I played was before he was added. And then I didn't play a version of Street Fighter 2 that had him.
It's one of those weird things. Obviously, this is just what's the word? This is just anecdotal evidence. But where you and I both think Fei Long's really pretty lame, ask Ted or Mike what they think of Fei Long.
I mean, I know that Ted likes Fei Long, but Ted likes fucking oatmeal characters.
He does. He absolutely does. But Mike would also say, hey, Fei Long's pretty cool. And Mike's Street Fighter main... Well, Mike likes Ryu quite a bit. And next to... Who did he like besides Ryu? I don't remember. Admittedly, Mike's not actually all that exciting either. Because for Street Fighter 4, when one couple of hours I played it with him, he was like, yo, guy. And I know that's not the most exciting pick either.
Like... This is anecdotal evidence, but look at these two guys who like not only white bread, stale white bread. That makes white bread actually good. Like see, like I don't even like Guy, but I wouldn't count him among like Fei Long. Along the lines of Fei Long. Like he's, I would say that Guy is along the same lines as Ryu. He's like just slightly under Ryu and above Fei Long when it comes to being interesting as a person.
Well, Ryu gets to be more interesting than a lot of guys because he has shit like
Games,
evil Ryu, the power of nothing and stuff like that.
Yeah. And like, Guy at least can do Bush and Ryu shit. Like he can come up with new moves and other stuff, and like they build the world around him with Zeku and Kimberly now and stuff like that. Like, Guy can have stuff. Fei Long is a movie star. He has 2 moves, and that's it. That's the guy.
Yeah, Fei Long. I feel like Fei Long would be at his most interesting. Correct me if. Did they ever say that he was taught by Gen?
No. Oh, the twins were.
The twins were taught by Gen. I feel like Fei Long would be more interesting if they explained that he was actually taught by Gen before the twins were. That would give him at least some degree of actual connection to the rest of the cast.
If they had that Gen's disappointed by his lack of improvement, then it could work.
I will say I don't think you or I want Fei Long for Street Fighter 6. I think there's a possibility we get him, but neither of us want him. I mean, let's just be real here. Jamie is Fei Long, but cooler.
Yes. I will give you that. Jamie is 100% Fei Long, but good. I'm hoping I hope that I can somehow get Yun to sneak in, but I want him in like the later seasons. So
I think if we're ever gonna get the twins again, because there's so much work that goes into a Street Fighter character now. If we ever get the twins again, it's either A, going to be that they are wildly different, or at least rather that Yun is wildly different and Yang is still Yang. Or alternatively, it's going to be that you play as both at the same time and can switch on the fly or some shit.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, that'd be fine by me too.
Like, here's the thing, I like Yang better design-wise, but I like Yun's gameplay better. So if they just make it so you can switch between the two, like the fucking mates, whatever, that works for me. I like both of those guys.
I couldn't see it being like the maids where they're both on screen at once. I would figure it'd be like a tag fighter where they'd swap in and out.
That could also work. I mean,
I feel like having 3 fighters on screen at once, like having both of the characters on screen at once would kind of screw up Street Fighter 6's aesthetic of having 2 dudes stand opposed to each other on the stage,
Maybe, but they've also done it in previously. I forget which game it was, but they did make it so they were like Yang was an assist to Yun, just intrinsically it was a part of his kit, and Yang was just standing in the background while Yun was fighting normally, and then sometimes he'd jump in to do a move.
Yeah, I feel like that was probably the CVS2 in the alpha versions, right?
Yeah, something like that. And so like, yeah, like if they just do that again, I'm fine.
Yeah. It would be a way to make the twins different from Jamie, certainly.
Yes.
Oh god. The way they do Ganajin this time is rather than Yang moving so quick that he's just hitting you so many times, instead Ganajin this time is that every move that Yang does, Yun then steps in and also does it.
That would be funny. That's the thing though, like if I
deeply unfair gang beating.
Yeah. But also, now that you say that too, by the way, I do feel like Jamie is more like Yang than he is Yun. So maybe, like, it's one thing I think of, like, maybe they can figure out a way to fit Yun in, at least.
Yeah.
Not too much overlap. Like, it's the same thing of, like, Kimberly and Guy would probably be too much of the same character on the same cast, but Kimberly and Zeku could work.
Yeah.
Or maybe Kimberly and Lucia. or if Guy...
Lucia.
Yeah?
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, Lucia's different in some major ways.
Yeah. But like, that's how I'm trying to think about it, of like, alright, so there can be some overlap, because I mean, like, we have Ryu, Ken, Akuma, and Luke on the same cast. So there can be some overlap. But they should have major differences, like, Ken has his neuron stance, Akuma is Akuma. Luke sucks. Just as a person, in general. But yeah, like, I feel like there can be some overlap, but not major ones. And so, like, I feel like Jamie, on one hand, has some overlap with both of the twins, but both of the twins had some overlap with each other. So, like, I feel like you could fit one in with some minor adjustments and make them work. or like we said, make it so one is a striker to the other. But if they do it, I would prefer Yon because Yon's gameplay is better.
Yeah.
Then
forever the less respected twin.
yeah. Then I came across this game while I was looking up the news, and it looks like those Gundam games that we played, but modern. It's called Iron Sega Versus.
Iron Sega versus?
Yeah, Iron Saga.
Saga. Okay.
Yeah. And March something, I don't know, the trailer is in Japanese. I can read that March and Steam. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I looked at the gameplay. It looked very similar to the Gundam game, the Gundam Battle Assault. But it's a bit more chibi in its design, and the characters are anime.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like, that like when I say the characters are anime, I mean the pilots. The pilots are very like anime. But that should be less of a problem because, we barely see the pilots.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it seemed like a modern reimagining of the same game. Okay.
All right, that makes sense. That seems like the sort of game people would be very nostalgic for.
Yeah. Okay, before we hit the big one, Street Fighter 6 is doing a thing with Ace Attorney of Battle S.
I saw that. Are they also doing something with Cyberbots?
Cyberbots is the game that you can get for buying the Battle S.
I see.
And that's about it, really.
Yeah.
So, the big one. Madame Bo in King of Fighters. Finally. In Mortal Kombat.
King of Fighters gets a Mortal Kombat crossover character. It's not Scorpion, it's not Sub-Zero. Here's a character that's never been playable. So here's the thing. Did you watch the Madame Bo trailer?
Yes.
Okay. Did you reach the same realization I did?
What's that?
So she comes out and she does her first assist move, where she does a drunken fist combo, Jackie Chan style. And I go, oh, drunken fist, that's odd. Then she does her second assist move, where she brings out some beer. And then she does her third assist move, where she does triple overhead cartwheel fucking overhead kicks. And I go, let me put in the text chat the GIF of my face as I was realizing. You know what I fucking realized?
Yeah?
Bo is short for her full name.
Boraicho.
Boraicho. Madame Bo is the MK1 version of Boraicho. The fucking overhead cartwheel kicks are a Boraicho move.
Oh.
She has a Boraicho fatality where she kills you with alcohol and smoking. She's Boraicho.
But good.
It's MK1 is still on that route of trying to redeem the fucking PS1, PS2 generations of Mortal Kombat. There you go. There's the trick to redeem Boraicho. Because I loved MKX Boraicho. He was still, no matter what, Mr. Toilet Humor. And for a lot of people, he was never going to not be that. The simplest way to put Boraicho to a position where people are going to be more accepting of him and not just view him as his old Toilet Humor self is to get him a sex change.
And then also just making this exchange not like make the new character not also be toilet humor.
Yeah. I can't see them having Madame Bo defeat the opponent with farts or vomit.
That's gonna be extra DLC. The fourth one. It's worked for Harley Quinn. It's gonna work for her.
Oh God! Let's not talk about that.
No, that's gonna be her fatality. When she crosses over as a guest character. We had Joker. It's time for Harley.
Oh no!
Anyway.
Shit. Yeah. So that's really cool. And hey, a fun surprise new cameo, because kind of looked like they were done adding new cameos. And this will almost certainly be the last cameo they add to the game, as well as T-1000 being the last character they add to the game.
Yeah.
As MK1 comes to a close, I think it's more than fair to say that while the core is good, what surrounds it just wasn't enough for people. I'm glad that it's there. I will probably always enjoy going back to play it because I still think it's a fantastic fighting game. But at the end of the day, Mortal Kombat can't just have a good core. There has to be content. There has to be single player content.
Yeah, not only that, but also I feel like from what I heard, at least like 50% of the ill will towards MK12 was or can be attributed to executive meddling.
Yes, the Zaslav problem, which has been the problem with near everything Warner Brothers has put out in the last 3 or 4 years.
Because, like, you know,
which I'm sure Zaslav didn't make any of the calls for Mortal Kombat because he doesn't give a he's not going to be that guy who's over WB Games. He's over WB in general. He's probably just the one who made the call to cut most of the dev teams, including Monolith Soft. Or no, not Monolith Soft, just Monolith Software, excuse me. Monolith Soft is the guys that make Xenogears. But anyway, there is no way that David Zaslav knows or cares about the policies of the individual Mortal Kombat games. He almost certainly just told the guys, the suits that are in charge of telling the suits that are in charge of Mortal Kombat what to do. He almost certainly told them, make more money, stop spending money. Which is nonetheless how we get here.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, once again, like, I didn't name Zaslav because, like, whatever. Executive meddling can be any executive above the dev team. Like, it doesn't have to come from the highest place for it to be fucking bad for the game. And, you know, sometimes executive meddling is needed. I forget which game it was. But, Dead Rising 4 maybe? Whatever. But some game where it was it was basically dev meddling in their own games.
Yeah.
Because of scope creep. So, like, you know, some level of executive meddling is necessary for a product to be made and for it to be, you know, fine, good. But then we get to stuff like MK12, where the content apparently wasn't there, which I wouldn't know. I didn't even have a chance to play the game. But regardless,
also, too many crossover characters and too many of them were superheroes.
Yeah, that too. But also, just like the things that I saw pointed out the most was, I can't choose a costume that I want to use because it's chosen for me randomly before I load into the character select screen. And
yeah,
it
really would have been preferable if they went with best of both worlds, where you could have 5 preset loadouts or the choice to go with random palettes and kits.
Yeah. Oh no!
I had everyone set to random up until they dropped that MK Deception Melina costume. At which point I picked that up and just set it to be Melina's look 100% of the time.
Yeah. And so, like, that was a problem. And then on top of this, the costume stuff, where, like, anything that wasn't a palette swap, you had to reach your wallet for, and it might not have been like big amounts of money, but it was still money, real money.
Yes.
And
no, it was fairly big amounts of money.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, that was still fucking money, and people like you know, people like Mortal Kombat. Deception, was it the one where he looks like Shredder, Sub-Zero?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like
was Shredder Sub-Zero and Deception.
yeah. So yeah, like people like MK Deception Sub-Zero. People, I don't think people like. I don't think enough people like MK Deception Sub-Zero to pay $15 for him or whatever. I don't know what the costumes were priced at.
I think it was 10. Could be wrong.
Okay, well, whatever. Still,
Maybe 5, because I can't see myself paying 10 for Deception Molina. I think I paid 5.
but yeah, like I
Or I
don't.
might have
Yeah.
I might have had MTX bucks to spare because of something I did in game. I honestly don't remember.
But yeah, like I don't think people are generally like I don't think people love the costumes generally enough to pay more than $1 for most of them if it's a single costume in any game. And so
Yeah, it's gonna depend on like the graphic intenseness of the game and the genre of game. I think people are gonna be a lot more willing to buy costumes in a MOBA than they are in a fighting game, generally.
yeah.
And that's partly because MOBAs, well, excuse me, in Smite, I can see people paying a lot for costumes because you're going to be looking at that costume a lot. Fighting games, you're going to be looking at the opponent a lot, generally.
Yeah, not only that, but also like you know, like costume stuff, costume DLC and shit makes sense. Or I mean, fighting games too, I suppose to a degree, but like it makes more sense in MOBAs because you want to show off. It makes more sense in single player games because you're going to be looking at the character a lot. You should probably like how the character looks. But with fighting games, the problem is that we've reached a point where the graphical fidelity cannot supply enough at a price point that is small enough for people to justify it. Because like a costume is a luxury. Like getting a costume for in a fighting game is a luxury expense on top of a luxury expense, and it has become that at the very least. And you know, it's getting harder to justify getting full-less games at discount prices, or what are considered discount prices nowadays. So on top of that, go and be like, all right, so if you want this one costume, it's gonna cost you $5.
The COVID bubble popping is currently a big problem for the video game industry in general.
Yeah.
The question will have to be: do strategies change, or do they try and just keep on it going ahead and hope that this bears out and eventually things will come back up?
I mean,
because that will be part of it. There is always the question with video games of, well, if AAA games continue to shit the bed and have bad news stories put around at them, that's going to result in more people taking a look at indie games and AA games.
All like 2 that exist that come out every 3 years.
Yeah, but they do still exist. I mean, there's stuff like, at the end of the day, they're going to be looking at the games that are like, in the AAA, close enough to AAA, but don't really follow around with that. Yakuza. Yeah, I'm a good part of why Yakuza has been such a smash success in the last 10 years in the West is Yakuza doesn't really futz around with MTX or DLC.
They didn't.
And for a lot, they might in the new games. I don't know.
Yeah, they weirdly enough, they started in like 6, I think, but it's really going hard since they did the gameplay system change. To the point where in 7, New Game Plus is DLC and it's like $15.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't used to be that bad, but Sega changed some strategy, and now like Atlas has always apparently had a problem with DLC that makes no sense, and the RGG devs have just taken that up.
Either which way, Addy.
Yes.
What fighting games have you played?
Well, most of them I believe we played together.
Yeah, that's definitely the case for me. Other than a bit of Mugen Gathering, which I gotta say, the Mugen Gathering has been relatively simple since I've been using Mugen Free for All instead of Mugen Archive. Since Mugen Free for All is more so, it's not like Mugen Archive where it's like, okay, going to Street Fighter, okay, oh Jesus, which of these, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? A Mugen Free for All is basically a forum that divides things up into collections, and that's how you check. Whereas Mugen Archive, you got to look for each individual fighter, which is more convenient in that way. On the other hand, it is a bit scarier because it's mostly going through the means of MediaFire and the like, or websites, old Mugen Maker websites that are so old they have to be used. You have to use the Wayback Machine.
Ah,
But nonetheless, I have gathered up all the Street Fighter cast going up into 3. I gathered up the CVS versions of the SNK characters, the entirety of the KOF 98 cast, a couple characters from 2002, but I haven't really got into that yet. The entire cast of Guilty Gear XX, plus a couple of the goofs from Judgment and Issaka. So Leopoldon's in there. It looked like I was able to get all the Melty Blood guys. Sadly, most of the Uni guys are only made in their Blaze Blue cross tag versions. So that hurt. Blaze Blue is a relatively similar story. A lot of the Blaze Blue... Oh, go ahead.
In my roster, I should have Yuzu and Reaper guy and someone else. I forget who, but I had a couple Uni people from Uni.
I need to look into picking them up because I don't believe I was able to find actual Uni versions of them instead of the cross tag versions. Blaze Blue, though, generally similar story. Most of the characters were done in classic Blaze Blue style, but like Carl Clover, for whatever reason, only available in cross tag style. And it's like, why? I get well, he must be hard to code, I guess, and cross tag made him a lot simpler. Like it made everyone simpler.
Yeah.
And other than that, I grabbed all the Fighters History characters and a few of the Breakers Revenge characters, but most of them actually hadn't been made, or else the website had gone down that used to contain them. And I was able to grab all the Waku Waku 7 characters.
But did you pick up any of the Goku Densetsu characters?
No, I did not, and I won't. I refuse. But I was very happy to pick up the Fighters History characters and Waku Waku 7 characters, because I know you quite like Rasputin in Fighters History. And for Waku Waku 7, that was generally a cool roster. The issue with either game, though, is the Waku Waku 7 has, like, no characters. It's a very tiny roster.
Yeah.
And Fighters History, Rasputin, and a few other characters are cool, but most of Fighters History cast is like, yeah, kind of lame.
Yeah.
So here you go. Now you have an actual cast to compete with.
Oh, I found something important, actually. I remembered before the podcast.
What's up?
Dong Dong.
Okay, what about it?
I found it on the on archive.org. I don't know if it runs or anything, but I found Dong Dong and a couple of whatchamacallit, community patches live on the Internet Archive. So one of us should probably look into that sometime. If we do end up downloading anything, we should probably run it through Virus Total, just to be safe. Because apparently it is from the shady site that I knew of.
Oh shit! You'd think somebody would have re-uploaded it to a decent site at some point.
But that's the thing. Like this is supposed to be the re-upload, but the re-upload was made after the only site that was available is the shady one. So So like, you know, it's one of those things where like the Internet Archive checks uploads to make sure they don't have viruses. Usually, like if viruses, they do host viruses, but they're literally titled as the name of the virus. So like you don't get it randomly.
I guess for if you're just some kind of virus archivist who has a bunch of like $50 burner computers.
Yeah, it's for virus research. Like it's basically it's whatchamacallit, it's cybersecurity training stuff, more or less.
I see.
But yeah, like,
isn't the advantage always on the part of the fucking virus makers?
Yes, more or less.
Okay. It's generally a lot easier to break something than to make it or fix it.
But yeah, so what was I gonna say? Like, yeah, like they usually check stuff for this, and like if it's reported that it's not safe, then things are usually taken down. But the internet archive is fucking massive. So like even though they do their best to make sure it's clean, I would still feel like if either of us gets these files, we should probably run it through VirusTotal.
Yeah.
Which it's a zip. It's 400 megs, so VirusTotal can still parse through it. Alright, cool. But yeah, Dong is a possibility, mayhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for what we played, well, I talked about Maximum Impact. It do be Maximum Impact. I did unlock all of the characters in Solitaire Battle Resonance.
Yeah.
That game is fun. Like it, Solitaire Battle Resonance is a game that you need to get into the groove of to actually enjoy. Like it's very fucking shallow. I will tell you that right now. It's a Kusoge, certainly. But like that's thing. It's not a broken Kusoge. Sometimes it is. Like there have been times where I hit people with OTGs that shouldn't work. Like I think I literally picked someone up from the ground with an air attack. But but usually the game is actually fairly limited with its moveset and shit like that. This is the only fighting game that Solitaire got, and like I enjoy it once you get used to the weirdness of the controls and how the bars work and stuff like that. Then the game can be enjoyed fairly easily, I'd say. Getting all the characters unlocked was a pain in my ass because it involved beating the game once and then opening up the cleared data to find that there's 3 more missions. The rest of which it actually unlocks one of the secret characters. Now, what happens with this is, like, how you unlock the secret character is you go to the last mission, and then you start a cutscene with the secret character, and the cutscene plays for, I want to say, 5 minutes. Unskippable.
Oh.
5 minutes cutscene. Once this is done, you get into a gauntlet. But you have to beat this character 5 times in 5 matches. You cannot lose, or it gets reset. And
Jesus!
And these matches have been modified, so both you and the secret character have more health than usual, and the counter is like twice as long as it usually is.
Nah.
And that wasn't the hard part. I did that first try. Because by the time that I got there, bless you. By the time I got there with the character that I played through the story with, I just basically had I could basically get like touched maybe once in the entire match and win. It was just a matter of going through the 5 reps of the gauntlet. What really sucked was the actual last character that I unlocked. To unlock whom, you need to play through with all 3 of the protagonists in the story mode. That takes, I want to say, 3 hours at least to complete. And that's with skipping all of the dialogue that you can. So yeah, that sucked, but I don't have to do it anymore. Like, I just looked at it. I have 27 hours in the game.
Oh.
Yeah. Because, like, to unlock the last character, you need to play through with the 3 protagonists, and then you need to beat the arcade mode with every character in the roster that isn't this last character. Including the secret one.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So yeah, that was cool. Aside from that, let's see. I think I talked about all the ones that weren't the games we played. I made enough note of them at least. So I guess let's start off with the best one that we played together. Dragon Ball Dainaru, Dragon Ball DanZ.
I'm not sure that. I guess that counts as a fighting game, but yeah.
Well, did you not enjoy the 15-minute match? Just one match. A single round. See, when I first played that, I played, so there's 3 Dragon Ball fighting games on the PS1. There's Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, there's that game, and there's Dragon Ball Z, the Ultimate Battle 22. I've heard tales of how fucking ass Ultimate Battle 22 is. I've heard like little, if anything at all, about Final Bout, and nothing about this game because it's Japan exclusive, I would assume.
Yeah.
When I played through them for my arcade runs, I first played GT, then I played Irainaru, and then I played Ultimate Battle 22. Ultimate Battle 22 is the best game out of those 3.
Oh.
And it is supposed to be like one of the worst Dragon Ball fighting games. But like going from Irainaru to Ultimate Battle 22 was like going from playing Street Fighter 1 to playing fucking Guilty Gear XX. So you know.
Yeah.
And then Goku Densetsu. We have a very good track record with games with legend in the title, as it turns out.
Yep.
I guess in Goku Densetsu, the only notable thing for me to say is when we played, I said that Sailor Moon is still worse, and I thought about it. And I was like, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on Sailor Moon. Maybe it is this a similar shittiness. And then I actually edited the video, and no, I was right.
Yeah.
As bad as Goku is, as bad as Goku Densetsu is, Sailor Moon, Bishoujo Senshi, Super S, something so that's Sin, whatever. That game is still somehow worse because it has worse it has worse everything. Honestly, it's somehow more stiff. It has worse audio design, and the sprites are barely legible.
Oh Jesus.
So yeah, like it's one of those things where like I'm also almost tempted to say that next time we play fighting games, we should probably get it out of the way so that you know what the worst that the PS1 has to offer is. Well, one of the worst.
Meh.
Like I feel like the worst. Like if memory says I did get stuff ready for stuff, and I tried to do a mix of like, oh, here's some of the best PS1 fighting games that I've played, and here's some of the worst PS1 games that I've played. So it's like Criticom, Sailor Moon, and Biofreaks for the worst, and then you also have Bloody Roar, Dead or Alive, Street Fighter EX for the best. Asuka 120, Asuka 120 is up there all as well with the best. Like the PS1 had some really good fighting games, and the PS1 also had some really fucking bad fighting games. And once again, like I am removing games that just didn't really fit, which like you can imagine my criteria for what fits to be a fighting game by Dragon Ball Irainaru somehow still making it in. I played a fighting game. I played a fighting game that was an RPG.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in the Battle of Fantasia or whatever. Like probably some other games also did RPG mechanics for their fighters. But no, I don't mean that like putting RPG mechanics into fighting games. No, it was a proper JRPG that transitioned into a fighting game for every combat, and the combat sucked. I didn't even include that because I'm not sure it has a fucking 2-player mode. So yeah. Anyway, do you have any notes about the fighting games we've played?
Nothing in particular, certainly about any of that nonsense. Oh,
All right. Well then, I'll check to see if there was any updates since we started recording, but no. Imagine if I refresh it, it's just like fucking Capcom announces 30 more fighting games, all coming next month.
Darkstalkers 4, Marvel 4, Red Earth 2, Cyberbots 2, Rival Schools 3. Get ready, you pussies.
Yeah. Plasma Sword 3, Plasma Hoarder.
Plasma Sword 3, Rival Plasmas. Rival Schools 3, Sword School.
Power Stone 5, there was no 4. We're skipping it.
There wasn't a 3 either.
Fuck it.
Rival Schools 3, School of Bilstein. He's still got the helmet, but otherwise a Japanese schoolboy outfit.
Yeah. I figured he'd be the new headmaster. So he has a suit on.
Plasma Sword 3, Nightmare of Justice.
That's just Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Fucking what? Capcom Fighting Jam 2.
This time, not shit.
Hopefully.
Capcom Fighting Jam 8. We knew that it'd take at least fucking 5 iterations to make this not suck. So here you go. We skipped all the ones. They were just internal iterations. You don't want to see Capcom Fighting Jam 3. We knew that one sucked when we were playing it in-house.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna see if we were playing it in hell.
In hell. We had to go down to hell so that we would know how to go to purgatory and then heaven for Capcom Fighting Jam 8. Fighting Jam 6, that was purgatory, man. Fighting Jam 7, we made that on the stairway between purgatory and heaven. It's mostly good, but it's just a little bit stinky, so we had to wait.
to make sure Darkstalkers is well represented, we had to go down to Makai to consult or to talk with our consultant more again.
Okay, the fighting game hell is Sailor Moon and
They cut to the consultant and it's still the fucking Darkstalkers one more against right.
As always.
Anyway, yeah, continue.
If fighting game hell is Sailor Moon, Goku Densetsu, Street Fighter 1, fighting game heaven is Street Fighter 3, Garo,
CVS 2,
Mortal Kombat X, what is CVS 2? What is fighting game purgatory?
Blaze Blue.
Blaze Blue. I feel like purgatory has to be where you can't say it's bad. It's just disappointing, right?
Yeah, then I guess Blaze Blue it doesn't belong there because Blaze Blue, like, I don't know about you, I can look at Blaze Blue and say it's good. It's not for me per se, but you know it's good.
Just the feeling that you're missing something, right? That's purgatory. Yeah. Like, I'm not in pain, but things could be better.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I would put Rival Schools there for me personally, but because like Rival Schools,
I think that's fair.
Because Rival Schools, or rather Project Justice, Rival Schools 1, I genuinely think is not good. Well, it's not bad, I guess. So yeah, it would fit. It's not bad, but it is missing something. Project Justice has that something. I just still have no connection with the characters.
Fighting game purgatory, vanilla Street Fighter 4.
Yes. Agreed. Street Fighter 5.
Vanilla
honestly,
Street Fighter 5 goes in hell.
No, yeah, Vanilla Street Fighter 5 goes to hell. Ending Street Fighter 5, the version we currently have, that goes to purgatory.
Arcade edition, that's purgatory. Champion edition, yeah, you're kind of like you're stuck. They're at the upper part of purgatory, but they just can't make that final revelation to get to heaven, right?
Yeah,
We're almost there, but we're missing out on something. We're missing out on something big. We're missing out on something, but we're almost there.
I feel like there's still two circles down from the top of purgatory.
That's true.
Let's see.
Mortal Kombat Armageddon is jank heaven. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance is jank purgatory. And Mortal Kombat 4 is jank hell.
Where's Deception?
Deception is right there next to Deadly Alliance. Let's be real. I mean, there's Conquest mode and chess combat, but that's not the fighting game itself.
Yeah. If memory serves, this reminded me. If memory serves, I did the arcade run for Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and then I end the video by doing card combat. Which, I mean, to be fair, that is one of the most fun parts of Mortal Kombat Armageddon. But
the thing is, now that we have Parsec, we need to do Mortal Kombat Armageddon at some point, and then in that video with cart combat.
True.
Like, it's not at all like Deception. It's perfectly sane to play Deception and not switch to puzzle combat or chess combat. That makes a lot of sense. Armageddon, you have to get cart combat in.
Yeah.
Like, it's illegal to play Armageddon and not get in at least a couple races of cart combat.
Yeah.
That's Mortal Kombat 13. I'm gonna say something crazy. Mortal Kombat 13. Don't get rid of anything from Mortal Kombat 1, retiring the entire roster minus the crossover characters. Instead of the crossover characters, DLC 1, cart combat. DLC 2, puzzle combat. DLC 3, combat bowl.
DLC 4, chess combat.
Only Combat Bowl gets guest characters from Tekken, but only Combat Bowl. You can't play as them in the main game mode. If Heihachi wins the game of Combat Bowl, the Mortal Kombat characters get strapped to a rocket.
I feel like I as much as I love them, like the more I play them, the more I love them. But I feel like Maximum Impact, the Maximum Impact series, is probably like on the last or the second to last or whatever. Like, you know, whatever, like rank 6 or 7 of Purgatory. So like they're not quite in heaven yet, but they're close.
Yeah.
Street Fighter EX.
Street Fighter EX. Yep. Yep. Same brain cell there.
Let's see. Fexel.
Tekken 7.
Yes.
Tekken 5 is in heaven. Tag 2 is in heaven. Tekken 3 is probably in heaven. But like Tekken 4 is like a upper ring of purgatory of like, oh, it's still Tekken and the stage designs are really interesting.
See, I would
this roster ain't great though.
I don't know. I would put 4 into heaven. A lower ring of heaven, but still heaven. You know.
Yeah.
Like 4, I feel like 4 just barely made it out of purgatory. but
yeah,
still.
I can see that.
And then purgatory is like Tekken 7, Tekken 6, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't know about 8. I haven't played 8.
I don't know about 8. Where the hell does Tag 1 go?
People will disagree with me. About purgatory.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, to me when I see Tekken Tag 1, it's like, oh, we're stuck in an awkward middle stage between Tekken 3 and Tekken 4, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're experimenting with new tech, we're not experimenting as hard as Tekken 4 does, but it's not got the soul that Tekken 3 does, you know?
Not only that, but also the cast. Like, I just don't like the roster. I don't mind Tetsujin and whatever the old one is called. Like, I don't mind those guys existing or whatever, but like, you know, it's like we'll bring back every character except Li Chaolan.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, that's weird to think about when they have all the fighters game, but they miss one, right?
Yeah.
Like Tag 2, I love Tag 2. I've been vocal before about how much I love Tag 2. If Tag 2 was just abruptly missing Jack, Well, no, I wouldn't care because I don't like Jack. If Tekken Tag 2 was just abruptly missing Nina, I'd be like, well, what the fuck? Where's Nina?
Yeah.
Because it'd be one thing if they were missing Wong Jinrei. Who gives a shit? Li Chaolan is one of the core Tekken characters. He's one of the characters that if he's not there, it's like, where the fuck is Lee?
He didn't always used to be this way. He's only been that way since 4. Is the thing.
Did he miss 3?
Yes. He was in...
Okay.
So he was in
3 would
1.
have been the only one he missed, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was in 2, I'm pretty sure. I don't think 2...
He was
the
a
only
secret
character that didn't make
in
the
2.
jump from 1 to 2 was... The only characters that didn't make the jump from 1 to 2 were Prototype, Jack, and Kunimitsu, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a secret character in 2. And then he missed 3. I don't remember...
So was everyone else.
Yeah. I don't remember what happened with him in 1. But yeah. So that... He missed 3, and then... Yeah, for whatever reason, they included everyone, even the secret characters from 1 and 2, in Tech Tournament, but not him. And then he came back in 4.
Did they have Violet instead of Li Chaolan
No.
in Tag 1?
No, because Violet was made up for 4.
Oh, that's right! that always gets screwy for me. The thing is, coming from Tag 2 is the game that I played the most, I get fucked up on Violet. Because in my head, Violet's a separate character. In my head, Li Chaolan has 2 spots on the character select.
Yeah.
And so it fucks me up Tekken 5, 6, 7, where Violet is not a separate character. He's just an alternate costume.
I mean, in 5, he's not an alternate costume. There's shoutouts to Violet, because you can give Lee some, like, strands of hair that are colored violet, but otherwise he's not even in the game at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh god, I remember now the Tekken 5 customization. You could give Lee a set of golden revolvers. Tekken 5 customization was something to be witnessed.
Yeah, I mean, we can witness it sometime. I have it downloaded even. So
yes, we can.
In case we roll it again. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Okay. Killer Instinct, all of the series before 2013, higher Rings of Hell. As in, like, closer to Purgatory. 2013, bless you. 2013, somewhere around like 5 or 6 of Purgatory.
Yeah, there's always going to be disagreements, naturally. I love the KI 2013, but I think it's fair that I think your reasons for disliking it are fair.
Uni, honestly, as much as I love Uni, I would say Uni should probably be on like the top of Purgatory.
Oh, we've not played this newest one. The one we played, Uniel. Really?
I was in the beta.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, is it just Uniclear but with more stuff?
Yes. 100%.
Really? I thought Uniclear was really pretty good. It just felt like it was missing a little something, and I would figure Uniel would.
Celeste is Uniclear with one new universal mechanic, or maybe 2, but I only found 1. But I remember.
I didn't think it was missing anything mechanically. It just felt like there was something a little bit missing, like for like
character-wise, yeah.
Whether it's a character or a stage or something. There's a little bit of soul missing here, you know?
Yeah. I don't know about the stages because, like, I played in the beta I played, which was I forget if that was the open or the closed beta, but I did play the beta for Celeste, and that game had Yuzu. It had, well, basically it had if memory serves, the playable cast was more or less just the Uniclear roster, so like nothing particularly new there. And the stages were also more or less the same, if memory serves, like the same vibe as the Uniclear stages. Yeah. So I can't talk about the new characters or the new stages that they added all that much. Mechanically, it was more or less the same, but it had one new universal mechanic that the game kept using against me, but I didn't know how to do. And perhaps a second universal mechanic that's new. Which I think I read that there was a second new universal mechanic, but I never fucking saw it. So
Well, don't worry. I'm sure the tutorial will be glad to tell you.
Yeah, which I mean, I say that the CPU was using it against me, and the CPU was using it against me because there was some other mode that I played against the CPU with, but I also played online, and my experience playing online was, if memory serves, I went online and went up against not one but multiple Yuzurihas who just proceeded to fucking one-touch me, and I went, hey, that's cool.
Yeah, Yuzu, that's gonna be when anytime you've got that Virgil-esque or Johnny-esque character, you're going to be having, there's gonna be style lords online.
Yeah,
there's 100% gonna be style lords online.
Yeah, I mean, like, if memory serves, I switched off of playing Yuzu online because I'm just overall better with Enkidu. So it was just a bunch of it was a bunch of me trying to do twin shit, and then Yuzu is like, haha, no, and then teleports.
Yeah. Yep, we were talking earlier, like, okay, favorite character versus character you're actually good with.
Yeah. I mean, I like Enkidu as well. Gordo. I also like Gordo. Like, honestly, I like most of the unique cast. I think there's...
I do too.
Like, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 characters that I don't like, and they're the protagonists.
For me, I'm not a big fan of Tiny Girl with Giant Fists. And I really do not care for Waldstein, which is crazy because he seems like a character that should be built for me. But I don't know, he just doesn't connect with me. Whereas comparatively, I love Hide, and I think Lin's pretty cool as well.
But I think he's Hyde.
Hyde, yeah. I love Hyde. Hyde's... Ooh. I feel like Hyde's probably my main in Uni, and that's probably the only time in any fighting game where the main character's my main.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but there's just something about giving a ground burst to a Shoto that works for me. I can't explain it.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm not really over the moon with Hyde and Lin. Although now that you say that, I don't really... Like, I forget that Power Fist Girl exists most of the time.
Okay, you know what? Yeah. I said ground burst. I shouldn't have said that. Coco Desica. Something about adding a Coco Desica to a Shoto.
Yeah.
Let me just say, alongside Big Fist Girl, I'm not a fan of Eltnum. I've never got Eltnum.
I can see that. I'm fine with Eltnum. The character that is similar that I was thinking of, but I thought the name Eltnum kept coming up instead. Is, I think, Phonon. I forget. Like, Swordwind Girl.
She's weird. Yeah.
I don't like Swordwind Girl.
Yeah, I can definitely get that. Also, shout out to Blackula. Carmine, who is one of those characters of like, this character's really cool. I'm never going to play him properly, but I'll play him anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, Waldstein, I think Waldstein works for me. Waldstein, how the fuck is it written? Is it IE or EI? Because that changes the pronunciation. I'm looking it up. It's Waldstein, yeah. So yeah, Waldstein. He, like, I think the reason that I like him as much as I do is because he's the rare grappler character who is built around doing combo for some fucking reason. Like, he's all about doing combo into grab instead of just being a regular command grab character. And on top of that, he has a gigantic pressure. So, like, that just works for me real good. Like, well, what if Rugal was also Clark Still? You know?
Say that again?
What if Rugal was also Clark Still?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Waldstein. I don't like. I'm fine with his design. I feel like it could be more interesting, but
yeah.
But at the same time, his is also one of the more interesting ones in my opinion, because you know, a lot of the other characters are just like Schoolgirl. So
yeah, you're not wrong. Whip Girl is in the same category.
Yeah. Although, oh yeah, the weird thing, the funny thing about Sis Celeste, by the way, is you know how Akatsuki and Eltnum are guest characters?
Yes.
Yeah, no, they're here. They just live here now.
Yeah, I saw that. Akatsuki Blitzkampf is in a weird space where it doesn't get sequels frequently enough. Like, it gets sequels infrequently enough that I think it's more than fine for him to also have a vacation home, a timeshare in the Uni franchise.
Yeah, and Eltnum, like, people might disagree with this. Eltnum, I feel like, is better in Melty, or not Melty, in Uni than Melty.
Yeah. She feels like a better fit there because Uni has visually interesting character designs and Melty doesn't. That's part of the rule of Melty. As I was going to say this earlier, Melty's in a place where, like, I recognize the gameplay is good. I like the maids. I like Nico Arc. I like Chaos. But at the end of the day, Melty will never be near and dear to my heart because fundamentally the heart of the character design in that game is to make them really bland.
Yeah.
And that's fine. There are people that want Melty to be that way, and they should have access to that. The Melty series should stay that way for them. Just means it's never going to be near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, like, I feel like, to me, really the thing with Melty is that, like, I like some of the Melty characters. I like some of the ideas in Melty Blood. But also, I look over at Uni and I go, wow, better Melty Blood.
Yeah, I think that's generally fair. The sprites are definitely prettier. Melty very much has that 3 Japanese dudes in their garage feel to the sprites.
Yeah. And, like, Melty Blood, like, once again, Melty Blood, Echo Arc is very interesting, the maids are very interesting. Like, honestly, it's one of those things where, like, I don't really like the thing that they do with the maids in general. Like, I don't the archetypes, the anime archetypes that the maids are based off of are not for me, but at the same time I feel like at this point, if the maids weren't maids, if it weren't those two, then they would change for the verse, because it's just so fucking funny that Shy Maid takes out a chair and breaks it over the top of your head.
Yes. It's the delight of the 2 maids is that the one is a hyper-aggressive grappler who is dropping Molotovs on you, and the other is just random bullshit the character. Even more than Faust. Faust is throwing Looney Tunes shit at you. Hisui is honestly just beating you with whatever is lying around her house.
Yeah. And so, like, those characters are cool. Mecha Maid.
The moment I found the air table normal, I went, oh, okay, that's good. Yeah. That's good. That's cool.
Like, Mecha Maid, I don't personally like Mecha Maid, but she's also one of the more interesting characters. Also, by the way, Actor Second has a team up of Mecha Maid and Neko Arc. I just want to know.
Yes, I saw that. They have intermixtures of like weird teams in that game.
Yeah. But like most of the, and also, like, I will forever meme on it because the character design is so bland. But, like, I do genuinely have some love in my heart for women. I don't know what her name is. I never will. But
she's pretty delightfully bland.
Yeah, like, she's the right mix where she goes from being bland to being very fucking absurd, because it's just this random ass woman in a t-shirt and jeans sending out lasers.
And she sticks out because she's in a cast where all the other women are all wearing skirts and she's wearing jeans.
Yeah. And so, like, woman, I love woman because she is weird. Like, it's one of those things. What's a good simile that I can make? Like, I guess in horror. Like, you know how in horror, generally, something that is just slightly off from normal is a lot more scary than a big monster?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she has the same effect of, like, she is sure she doesn't look weird, but then you see her move. Like, I feel like the only way she could be enhanced is if they rotoscoped her, but she'd be the only one.
Yeah, there's a little bit going on there. Very unusual movement. Even her neutral sprite, her idle sprite, is a little bit odd,
Yeah. But I mean, just like, just do regular movements, rotoscope those. Just take, like, normal-ass movements, make them over-animated, because that's what rotoscoping does in some cases. And, just play up the thing of she looks like a normal-ass woman. in a normal outfit, and then she does a finger gun and it sends out a laser. Like that, I feel like that
Yep.
is a very like that is what makes her special in the cast. Whereas the other guys, it's like, all right, here you have a Shoto looking guy. He's actually a grappler secretly, but he's a bad one.
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah, I do not care for Koma. He's up there in the list of grapplers I do not like.
yeah, or like whatchamacallit, like all of the shikis.
Yeah, oh, right. I have 2 in Mugen. Are there more in the games? I can't remember.
There's Glasses Shiki and there's Glassless Shiki. And there's all.
Okay, that's the 2 I have.
Okay. Technically, they have their moon variants, but aside from that, like, I don't think there's more Shiki variants, as in separate characters. And then also just like the 4 different versions of Gem Woman. Akiha, I think.
Yeah.
Which, like, I feel like honestly, there can be a greater admonishment or whatever of Melty as his staying power that like we're talking about these characters and both of us know who we're talking about, but the names we're saying are Woman and Gem Woman.
Yep.
And like once again, with normal Woman, I like her. I think it's a funny bit to just refer to her as Woman because that's her design, but like, you know, I've tried to remember her name. I never do. Because it would make her too interesting. It is a part of her character that she's bland.
I cannot recall her name, even though I just, like 2 days ago was looking at it when I was getting her from Mugen.
I'm gonna look it up, and the both of us will forget it by the time this recording is over.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, multiple deck test again. It doesn't really matter. Just give me the roster. Okay, that gives me everything but the roster. Cool. Let us see. Oh, there's no. I got a. Oh, there's a third Chiki.
Oh, no.
I think. Let me see. There is a third Chiki. It's a woman.
Oh, God. Okay, that's a real thing. I skipped over that one because I was like, oh, that's clearly the person's OC.
And then let's
Lord.
see. Yeah. Necor Chaos Black G666. But yeah, the thing I was looking at was just saying the names of the characters, so I that didn't help me. Where is Woman? Akiho Vermilion? No, that's Gem Woman. I'm looking for Aoko, maybe. Yep, that's her. Aoko Awazaki. That's Woman.
Okay.
Okay. I thought
Awako, what'd you say her last name was?
Aoko Awazaki.
Okay, Aoko Awazaki. I'm going to try and actually learn that, and I will fail.
Yeah. I mean, if she'll always be a woman in our hearts. Like here.
Aoko Awazaki.
Yeah, I'll put it into the voice text so you can also see it. Maybe that helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Other fighting game purgatory stuff. I mean, there's a lot, but I feel like Karnov is on a higher ring of hell as well. But like,
Yeah, I think that's fair.
yeah.
Where does Fist of the North Star go?
Ring 4 of Purgatory. Like it's not bad, really. Like it's not approaching hell, but also I feel like since they put some like competent stuff on ring like 5 and up, I feel like 4 should be good. You know?
I feel like in the same way that I said there's jank heaven, jank purgatory, and jank hell, there's Kuso heaven, Kuso purgatory, and Kuso hell, right?
Yeah. I mean, in that case, probably a lower level or lower ring of hell, or not hell, fucking hell, heaven. The opposite. Yeah, actually, now you say that we should do separate Kusoga rankings. Yeah, Hokuto no Ken sucks ass.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, no. I'd say that Hokuto no Ken is like on, I don't know. If memory serves in Dante's Dante's fanfiction, the rings go up the closer they get to God. So I guess it would be ring 2. Hokuto no Ken and Basara Cross would be ring 1 of Kusoga heaven.
Yeah, they're around the same lines. Yeah, the tippity top of Kuso heaven
It's Dong Dong.
at the top ring is Dong Dong. Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say.
No question. Very Stereodrome.
Ooh. I don't know if Terradrome's in Jank or Kuso.
I haven't played it, so this is all you.
I would say it's in Jank because balance-wise, it doesn't strike me as anything too crazy. Admittedly, I'm not up on the pro Terradrome scene, if such a thing even exists. I would say it's in the Jank ring. It's somewhere in the Jank rings. I would put it somewhere in heaven. I almost feel like there's 4 separate rankings, right? There's the actual rankings. There's the Kuso rankings. There's the Jank rankings. And then there's the beyond, there's the indie and like beyond indie, like just fan project fighting game rankings, right?
Yeah.
Because if we're comparing Terradrome to, let's say, Punch Planet, or what would be some other big indie fighting games to make comparisons to? Rivals of Aether?
Sure. Let me think. Brawlout, I guess.
Yeah.
Multiverses.
Yeah, that is not an indie game.
Let's see. What other indie fighters do I even fucking know of? Yatagarasu? A game neither of us have played?
I've never even heard of it, so...
It's just called Crow in Japanese. It's an indie fighting game that was made by some smaller studio in Japan. It was supposed to get some patches in 2016 and has yet to have an update since. The newest opinion that I could find on Steam was 2017. Like the art is good apparently, but there's some like big balance problems.
Okay. So probably somewhere in the Jank or Kuso category.
Yeah.
Kuso Hell is Sailor Moon.
Yes. No. Sailor Moon is irregular hell. But wait, which one? That depends. If we're talking about the PS1 Sailor Moon, that's irregular hell. Not even the fighting game hell, that's in real hell. You know?
Yeah.
But if we're talking about the Mega Drive one, the one with the well-known shitty balance, I feel like that would be in So Heaven.
Yeah, there might be a Sailor Moon in every ring.
Yeah.
Huh.
Where is Dragon Ball Bram Presto? Hell. But which hell? Remember when Dragon Ball Brand Presto was the first Dragon Ball fighting game we played?
Oh boy. I mean, visually it still is. That game was dog fucking ugly.
Yeah. Oh, there's I forget which one. I think it's GT Final Bout. It looks even worse because it's just like it's still frames from the anime cut out for a fighting game.
Okay, you know what's at the tippity top heaven of Kuso heaven?
Yeah.
Marvel 2.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, and then like slightly under that is Dong Dong. And then somewhere also in the realm is Sailor Moon and Hokuto no Ken and Basara Cross.
I think Dong Dong and MVC2 can sit next to each other.
I'm trying to think of like some really wild one to throw out.
At the bottom of Jank Hell is Paws what was God damn it, Paws
Brutal Paws of Fury.
Brutal Paws of Fury, good lord.
Yeah, so somewhere around Jank Heaven or like the higher levels of Jank Purgatory. I feel like Cardinal Sin is hanging out somewhere there.
Yep. You know, it's another one in Jank Heaven, or at the very least upper rings of Jank Purgatory.
Yeah.
Street Fighter the movie, the game.
Yeah. Fair. I almost feel like Street Fighter the movie the game should be in like the higher somewhere between there in Ksoge.
Lower ring of Jank Purgatory or upper ring of Jank Hell. Mortal Kombat 1, the original very first Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Fair. I feel like every Mortal Kombat before the 3D trilogy. Honestly, even in the 3D trilogy, probably. But I feel like every Mortal Kombat is on the jank ladder instead. Because like UMK3 is
perfectly. Oh, good.
I was gonna say like UMK3 is the best of the OG trilogy in my opinion, and in most people's opinion. I would still put it into jank heaven instead of regular heaven.
Yeah. Do all of the clay fighters go in jank hell?
Yes. No question. I played one clay fighter once. Just as a note. This was like more than 10 years ago. But I do have them. Out of arm's reach. So, or out in arm's reach. So it's a possibility for the future. Oh, shit. Very special battle for the grid.
Ooh. On the main fighting game chart, I would say it's perfectly smack dab in the middle of Purgatory. Jank, I'd say it's an upper ring of Purgatory, maybe a lower ring of Heaven.
See, I would for the second placement, I would put it into the Ksoge category instead of Jank. Because it didn't feel particularly janky, but it did feel particularly janky, but that was in the vein of Marvel 2, which was on purpose. You know what I'm finding, trying to look through all of my opinions, is that I just don't really have any like particularly wild takes that I'm very passionate about. Because like even with Rival Schools is probably the wildest take that I have, fighting games wise, and even with that I'm just like, it's not for me. That or KI, but even with KI, once again, it's just more so a thing of it's not for me than me actually thinking that it's bad. The early KIs are bad.
Yeah, they are.
Because I just wanted to do something dumb to close it out, like Schoolgirls, that's going to fucking hell. But like, nah, Skullgirls is fine.
Something inflammatory.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6, lowest ring of hell.
Hey, Maynard, I didn't know you were on this podcast.
Hey! Ken is underpowered. I don't know who the hell Maynard is, but I assume every asshole with wrong opinions about Street Fighter 6 thinks Ken is weak.
Maynard, I don't remember who they play, but Maynard or Maynard RD is a competitive player. He recently lost some tournament and then proceeded to post the opinion that Street Fighter 6 is worse than Street Fighter 5. Yeah.
Game I know is better than game I don't know. Game I have years of experience in is better than game I don't have years of experience in.
So
nothing more honest than crush counters, baby. That's honest footsies right there.
But that's why I'm memeing that, because like, yeah. Can you not? Genuinely, I feel like I have more like wild takes for like underrated games than I do for overrated ones. Fighting games, that is.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I was thinking this earlier. I'm not sure there's any game that you really love that I go like, no, that game's shit. I was trying to think the game I can think of where I think you and I differ the most in terms of you have a more positive opinion of the game than I do is Guilty Gear Xrd, which is a game that I still really like. I still think it's really good. It's just I put it a little bit lower than X2 rather than higher than it.
Yeah, I mean, Xrd and X2 to me...
Really, that mostly comes down to the roster and the aesthetic.
Yeah,
gameplay-wise, I think they're more or less the same game.
Yeah, Xrd and X2, I would say that I rank them roughly at the same spot, honestly. It's just...
Really?
Yeah. Like, really, the thing for me that really makes a difference between the two is I can do roaming cancels in Xrd, and I can't really do them in X2, because in X2 there's no slowdown. That's it. That's the major difference.
Yeah.
That and also Johnny doesn't have his air mist finders in X2. That's it.
Oh god, that's right.
That's it. Those are the two major differences that makes me sometimes seem like I prefer Xrd, but it's also a thing of like we can play X2 whenever. Xrd we didn't really have that chance with when we played Xrd. So
yeah, we could hypothetically if next Steam sale if I pick up Xrd, but
yeah.
You know, the real thing is for moveset changes, X2 has Slayer with the go behind you dandy step.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also I guess another thing is that I do remember liking Answer a lot. I forget if anyone else was new in Xrd. Calm.
Answer, Kum Hayun, all three of the Valentine sisters, Sin.
Crow Guy.
I know you're a big fan of Sin.
Yeah, Crow Guy. Fucking shit.
Yes. Shit. Because he was in X2, but only as a story character. You couldn't actually play him or fight him. Oh dear God. Oh God, what's his name?
I'm gonna look up the roster.
Yeah, just look up because I'm not gonna come up with it as long as I sit here thinking about it.
Okay, let's see. Help me, Dustloop Wiki. Oh, Batman was also new. Looking at the roster, the character select screen. Raven.
Batman wasn't available in. Oh, Bedman. You meant Bedman. Okay, I thought you meant that man. I was like, he wasn't in Xrd.
Not that man. Bedman.
Yeah.
No, if I meant that man, I would call him Oscar probably.
Oh God, right.
Oh yeah, Leo was also new.
Oh right. So anyways, let's stick to X2.
But yeah, I guess really my thing with the Exert is once again easier whatchamacallit, roaming cancels, which I think that you'll find that that is something that I'm consistent about, because the one thing of Stripe that I like is the new roaming cancels.
Oh god, the fucking 8 different variants.
No. They actually made them well. Back during the beta when we last played, there were less variants of it than in Exort, because Exort had 3 and Strife has 2, or had 2 at that time. But
That's right.
But the reason I sort of like in some ways why like Strive Roman cancels more than Exert or XX is because there's not really slowdown, but if you do input a dash, then you get some aerial movement towards that. And we never played Strive enough for me to actually be able to learn how that works to form a proper opinion on it. But I do like the idea of it in a game that is better. And
yeah.
so yeah, like the easier and more conducive to stuff Roman cancel is, the more I will like it. Which is why I don't really use Roman cancels and stuff like XX or Blaze Blue, or honestly JoJo, Fight of Heaven. I forget. No, not Eyes of Heaven. Eyes of Heaven is the other one. Shit. Whatever. The one we played, the 2D one.
Oh god.
The one that's not Heritage for the Future.
Are you sure that isn't Heritage for the Future?
I am, because I don't mean the sprite-based one. I mean the 3D one.
Oh, you mean All-Star Battle?
Yeah, All-Star Battle. Yeah, like I don't really use Roman cancels in All-Star Battle either. There was a time that I did learn how to use it, but it was just, alright, Magic Series, Roman cancel, Magic Series, super.
Nah.
So, you know.
A little bit of a meter-hungry combo there.
I don't know, it does like, or the ones that I tried that were made up like that, those did like 70%. I think that's fine. You know?
Oh, shit.
Like if you get the timing down on young Joseph in that game, he has a super where he starts shooting you with a gun, and if you input the super again, then it turns into a like he does a launcher and then does a big final attack that deals a lot of damage, and you can time that after a combo, so he hits someone in the air with it, and it just keeps juggling them with the gunshots, and you can if you can time that correctly, you can do an 88 combo that deals something like 60 or 70% damage.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, I guess here's an inflammatory one that we can say. Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo. Between Purgatory and Hell.
Ooh. I don't like Super Turbo, and I wouldn't even say that. I'd say low. I'd say mid Purgatory.
I don't
like
know.
I said, I'm not going to argue with you on it because I don't care about Turbo.
Yeah, I would put Champion Edition one ring above it, but not higher. So.
Ha!
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So submit your rankings of Dante Aguirre's fighting game list in the comments below.
And when you do it, we won't read them. Fuck you.
Fighting games were, I guess.
Yes, they were.